Come on. There we go. All messages. That'll help. All right, I think I'm good. What is going on, everybody? I don't know. I think I need to include YouTube on this, don't I? Come on. Gonna do it? No, I'm gonna do live chat. That's all I need to make sure of. Yeah, looks like we're good. Let's test the chat real quick. Stop showing me top messages by default. Can you just show me all messages? Nothing popped up. Oh, tell me it's gonna do the same thing. Oh my god, please tell me it's gonna do the same thing. Okay. Other chat sites, enter URL. First off, live chat. Pop out and get this. Nothing's still showing up. Did I hide messages from YouTube by accident? Visibility, hide source icon, hide Twitch messages. I didn't set it to hide YouTube stuff. I had set it to hide Twitch stuff. Oh wait, did this one not just go through? I don't even think it showed up on my actual stream. Hold on a minute. Yeah, no, it didn't even show up. Wait, I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? Okay, Store. So YouTube's just being stupid and well, now it's showing. Let's try one more time. No, nothing? Okay. Right, so it's gonna be stupid with me. And I'm just not gonna bother. Welcome, viewer, by the way. Get out of here with that. We're just gonna stop. We're just not gonna bother with it right now. Can't get my chat to work, but at least I have my phone going, so I can at least look at the chat that way. Right, so, two things. Number one, I'm not in queue. I'm just going to go between this page and all that. Let's actually make you invisible for now, because I'm not playing any games at the moment. Yeah, my chat's not going to work, so normally it'd be on the right side, right underneath that text chat, but let's just not bother with it for a moment. I mentioned in a prior video that I wanted to get into the coaching scene, so I asked a couple of friends for some VOD review codes that I can actually take a look at them for them and help them along with some coaching, and they can help me by giving me experience. So I had a friend over on one of my Discord channels who is a master support but a gold damage, and he's looking for some advice. So you know what? Why the heck not just give it a chance, and we can troll about how badly I coach. But before I even get started, I want to acknowledge I'm fresh to this. I'm new. I'm not as experienced as I could be, but that's why you got to start somewhere. So I ask for a little patience and hope that everybody understands that I'm just trying to give some good advice here. Right. So he, if I recall correctly, swaps to Tracer at some point, because he did send me some information. And he's right now playing Genji, so we're going to fast forward a tad bit. We're going to keep an eye on him. Okay, 5, 4. So the map he is on, if I recall correctly, this is supposed to be a loss. So this is, he loses. It's a close match. It's on New Junk City, as we can all see. So, you know what, before I even do this, what's going on, everybody? This is also going to be recorded for future purposes. I'm right now live streaming it, but let's just do some recording while we're at it. So a small recap, just a few seconds. A friend on Discord sent me this code. He is a master support, but he is a gold damage player. And in this match, he loses, but he is playing currently Genji and Tracer. So I offered to do a VOD review for him so that I can get some experience, and it's not a heavy review. So let's get started.
2, 1.
Okay, so right out the gate, let's get a little closer. I'm also very fresh on the controls, so let's have a look. Okay, good deflect. Okay. Where is the rest of his team? Okay, so they're coming in. He still doesn't have any protection, and he's just holding the choke. Not necessarily a problem, but... Okay, so... as I was mentioning, he was just holding the choke. But let me go back out. Again, I'm just trying to get the controls, but Reaper's doing a flank here. And... gets taken out. So they're activating the objective. He goes Tracer. Okay, so this is when he goes Tracer. Let me just double check. I don't want to be making assumptions here. Whereas he says he was a master support, or he's a master's tank. Here we go. Okay, master support. He's not a master tank. So, I didn't want to get the wrong impression here. So, I don't know if he'll be viewing this. I'll be definitely sharing the stream so that they could watch it back. So the biggest problem I can tell, first off, he's not playing Tracer properly, and that's kind of like pointing out the obvious, but in this case he could try and use some of his support experience to, yeah, so let's actually just talk about specifics. Let's not just talk about the overall here. So he goes in front, and he goes literally in front of the Zarya with his team. So Zarya is now currently in his way, and this is not how you play Tracer. Tracer, you need to be on the flank, you need to be moving around, using your blinks. He kind of did waste him to get to the point, if I recall correctly. Let's see. Yeah, he's left with no blinks before he makes an engage, so first issue you're running into is that you basically have no resources going into your fight. And then he's a support player, so again, I'm not trying to tell him something that he probably doesn't already know, especially since he's in Masters. But the big takeaway is that he basically went in with no resources and then he wasted a rewind. So what you should have done, and this is a gun on the account that he might be watching, what you should have done is waited for at least one more blink to come through, and while you're waiting for that blink, you can, from this angle, go into the flank right here, because Zarya is taking the pressure. You could go this way, or I can't really speed this up, can I? No, I cannot. Not a problem. What you could have done is take the flank here. Zarya would be pressed into this corner. They're all basically watching for their Zarya's end and their Reaper and everything at a distance. It's not totally your fault that the tank is kind of by himself on point with literally nobody else around him. I don't know why he went his way, but this is also a gold match, so I'm very familiar with teammates doing this. You're also down another support. Your Zenyatta is getting shredded, and whereas, yeah, Sojourn over here is probably going to be feeding because she still has her bubble. So I would have taken the flank route, and heck, I probably would have just actually stayed back here on the health pack so that if you did get pressed, you can kind of blink out and get into safety. But getting in that little extra damage, I guess, helps with your pulse bomb, but you do pay for it. And they do have a Symmetra, so they are kind of solid. Yeah, there was nothing you could do there. I would have honestly just pulled back, but kind of play like a support in the way that you would play your corners and you'd play with your team and you'd kind of be in the back. Tracer can be a good frontline pressure presence, but again, it was not going to work out that way because you wasted your life-saving resources. Your rewind should be when you hit low and you're trying to do dives. It's kind of hard to explain. I might be sounding very ignorant here, but I just noticed her pistol. I mean, it's not bad. It's not all bad that you try and do frontline pressure, but it's just the wrong time to do it. So let's also continue forward. All right, so now, just to make sure, let me see what's around you. So I see Brig, I see Junker Queens, so you have your Sojourn still creating pressure. Where's your other support? Oh. Who's the other support still? Zenyatta? Yeah, you're going forward with an incomplete team, so this is probably not going to end as well as I think it's going to end. But you're doing right to pressure on the flank right now, but your Sojourn's taking a full frontal... Okay, so I'll point this out just because it's pertinent. I would have taken the fight down below and assisted your Sojourn by pincering the Reaper. Because what you're doing right now, you're trying to go for point, but remember that they have a Symmetra. They are right now holding down the point, and the best way to get the point right here, right now, or at least I don't know, it just seems like he's going to be doing that. Maybe he'll surprise me. But if he's doing what I think he's going to do, you need to wait for your team to take out the turrets, and that way there's divided pressure, and you can all work together and take out Symmetra in a coordinated thing. It looks like Reaper might actually die, but he is in Wraith form right now, and he might pull back because it seems like he's not playing Reaper badly. It doesn't seem like he's playing Reaper recklessly. So let's take a look. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, in this instance, I'd be playing more like a... Oh... Okay, now okay, so the team's with him right now. Let's just hold off on before I go on to this. I'll go back as necessary. Yeah. Okay, taking the point. Everyone's rotating. Good stick, okay. And he didn't use his rewind to get out of dodge. That's usually a lower rank mistake. You don't always need that unless you're under heavy, under a heavy team fight. So it's a good use of your blink. You're going to get one back, so just stick with your team. You should be fine. Take out the turret. Perfect. Okay, Reaper. Oh, good escape. I'll give it that. But they took it. Wait. So that was a good escape to save your life. Let's just see what happens. Okay, so Briggs off point, Sojourn's off point. Okay, so... Okay, let's start that from the beginning. So... It's going to be a little bit of noise for a second. Okay, so number one. Let's just quickly address this. So... I wouldn't have gone for point. I would have helped out the Sojourn secure the Reaper kill, because even though he might not be the biggest threat, it seems like Zarya is doing her job and getting fed. I am going to say that Reaper is currently, based off of his ult charge, the biggest threat right now, and he's been putting enough pressure on you to be a threat. So what I would have done is help out your Sojourn secure that kill, and ignore the point. You have to win the team fight before you can do the objective, because if there's an enemy team in your way, you cannot do your objective. And getting the objective is the key. You have to sometimes sacrifice the battle to win the war, and you are not in a good prime position to be doing anything of note. Yes, you're building up ult charge, and you did get a good pulse bomb, there is no doubt about that. But I would stand to say you should play more support-like, in that you are behind or with your team, and then look... I'm going to power through. I would play with your team and look for an opportunity where the enemy team is distracted and you can kind of go behind them and get the clips. But that's not what happens. You're doing your own thing here. So, get that. It seems that Sojourn gets taken out by the Symmetra. They all gathered up together and you're going in. So, this was a bad dive, and you wasted... So, you jump down. What's your plan? You have Moira. Is that their Symmetra? Yeah, that's their Symmetra. I couldn't see it for a second. Is there Zarya there too? Oh, they have Zen too. Okay, so it's their Zen. Okay, never mind. So, wait, where's their Zarya? Is she here too? Oh, no, she's right there. She's just hidden behind 3 people. I'm blind. Okay. Yeah, so what's your plan? You jumped down into a point that has Symmetra's turrets. The enemy team is literally 5v1ing you right now. You're by yourself, you're down your other damage, so you have no distraction other than your teammates that are up here, and you have your Brigitte, you have your Junker Queen. Your Junker Queen, debatably, is the only one who can give you any real support, because the only thing that Brigitte can offer is a whip shot, and she shouldn't be using it recklessly at this distance in the first place. She could, but why? Why would she do that? So... yeah, your plan, you went in for the fight, but you had no plan other than to rewind out. And look at what became of it. They're all still full health. You didn't get an elimination. You didn't take out any of Symmetra's turrets before you went out. The enemy team is now reconvened, so they're back together. You're still down your other damage. She's still a short ways off from respawning, and she can't make it back in time to make a decent team fight. They're 70% of the way through, and they're back together on point. You didn't have a plan, and that's going to ultimately hurt. And then you take the flank here, kind of, and then take the flank here. So now you got the support. You didn't have a proper target. That's not something that you can help. But if we could just go back like 2 seconds, let's just assume for 2 seconds that it was only the Reaper who stayed. Like, Reaper was the only one who came up and the rest of the team stayed on point to defend. What's your plan with that? You're going to out-damage him. You're going to try and take him out. 2 problems with that. You're playing Tracer like Reaper and taking the front 1v1 fight. You have to utilize your mobility, and you have 2 blinks going on a third, so you do have the mobility. But you're playing like Reaper by staying active and trying to get those hits, which is fine. but he can burst you down in one shot, and if he doesn't get you down in one shot, can follow up with the second one and get you out. You do not have your recall. Your only life-saving ability is your blink, so you can't actually do much more than blink around and get him to constantly turn around, but you're giving him the free value by staying isolated and staying still. So there's really not much that you're doing here to bring value to the team fight. And again, remember, you're still down your other DPS all the way over there. There's a Symmetra turret down there? Oh my god, I didn't realize. I thought she had all of them on point. I guess it was when the team fight was down there with the other DPS. But yeah, you have your team over here, which it's fine for you to be separate from them. You're playing Tracer. You have the capability to go off on your own and sustain yourself. You should stick with your team from instance to instance, but everything is like Tracer has the viability to go off and be her own person. So just hard to really give more advice than that. But yeah, this is where your Sojourn is right now. Everyone's over there. So you're playing against a Reaper like a Reaper, and then the team follows up on him. We already knew that. And then you come over here, which is about the right move to make. You get a really good stick. I don't know how the stick landed, because it looks like it shouldn't have, but it did. So Symmetra's gone. Good job. You got rid of their DPS, and you got a kill. And you have your rewind, but no blinks. Resource management is the key, because Tracer is very heavily mechanically oriented. But also take a look at the scoreboard right now and tell me what anybody else notices. If you guessed that your tank is about to go down, you'd be right. Another issue is that Reaper still hasn't used his ult. So ult tracking, I wouldn't expect anybody in gold to get this. I know I didn't when I was in gold, and I'm now in high plat, like just barely hitting diamond. Whew. Let me tell you, ult tracking is not fun. It's not 100% easy, but again, Reaper's getting a lot of value, and he's playing with his team. I don't really have much more to add. Let's just finish up this end. So you get the kill. You're helping out. You got rid of the turret. They convened on your tank. You have your rewind. You have a blink. You use your rewind. You get out safely. It was a scrub team fight. Not too much to go on there. So they basically won the point. Moving on. Okay, so next flashpoint is under here. Okay, let's give this a watch. Okay, good use of getting the map geometry, getting the health pack. Okay, so Metro. Okay, so we're gonna quickly just watch point for a second. We're gonna go back a little bit more. Okay, so you went over to get that, and she has a chance to set up some turrets. She probably knows you're there. We can just quickly take a look. Okay, so... Oh, yeah, no, she definitely knows you're there. She can hear your blinks. Okay, I'm an idiot. That's completely on me. You're short on health, you get out alive, you go to the health pack, she already knows you're there, she sets up turrets. So your job right now should be to wait on the team fight to begin, wait for your team to distract, and look for an opening on an easy pick, but you already know that Symmetra set up her turrets, so you can't just go in recklessly. I would identify where those turrets are and keep a distance from them and look for the weak link in their team, and it looks like... Okay, so their Moira... Is that their Moira over there? Or is that their Zenyatta? That's... Who is that? Oh, that's Moira. So yeah, Symmetra's not even alone, and she's got her turrets. She's already set up. I would hold off. Where's their... Is he still back at the main point? He's still at the main point. Oh my god. That's funny. Okay, yeah, so you can't just go in recklessly. It looks like your team's coming in. The enemy team is not fully together yet. Okay, get rid of her turrets. Let's just watch real quick. Before, you might die, you might not, but I'll... Okay, good focus, good focus. you did something smart. So, I remember this tip when it came to Soldier. But Moira is a very... How do I describe this? Okay, so let's just watch that again. I'm gonna slow it down. So you aim for Moira, you're putting pressure on her, and then she aims at you. Now she's fighting you. Waste of a rewind, but we'll get on that in a second. So you did something smart. Moira can automatically lock onto you. That means that she doesn't have to do much. She can freely wobble back and forth, and her reticle can sometimes go in like weird movement patterns. But as long as you're within a certain radius of that reticle, she's going to lock onto you automatically. It's kind of like how Symmetra's primary fire worked Overwatch 1 pre-rework. So she doesn't need to do much. She can bob and weave and get the value. What you did is you stood still because you don't lock on, and you're now focusing your aim because she's going to get the value no matter what. But now the question is, you have to get value. What's the best way you get value? You just stay still. Her damage isn't going to change by you bobbing and weaving like other heroes that fire beams or fire projectiles or hit scans. Like, no, hers is a beam that locks onto you for a certain radius. So why are you going to move? Why are you going to mess up your aim when you just need to hit her? And she needs to hit you. Now, again, I would not have utilized the rewind, but let's quickly get it a little bit slower. So you're at 40 health. Yeah, debatably knowing our luck in the lower ranks, it probably would have killed you. So again, the rewind was not a huge waste, but it was a overall waste. Where's the team? Yeah, the team is still here fighting, so it looks like... Yeah, they got the Symmetra up here. Yeah, their team's convening right now, so they're about to arrive and take the team fight. You wasted a key resource. It looks like your Sojourn's got ult, but it also looks like Moira's got ult, so it's going to be very hard. Let's just see what happens. Oh.
It's go time.
And there you go. Paid the price for not having a rewind. You still had 3 seconds. So the big issue here, you took the Moira. Another thing, I wasn't going to mention this because it's not that big of a deal. You're close enough where it doesn't matter, and she's not hiding behind the floor panel where she is. So high ground doesn't really matter in this instance as much as other instances. You're close enough where your damage is going to do it. But then you followed up with wasting your rewind to save your life, which wasn't, again, the worst thing. You go around, and now, again, what's your plan? The Moira is right in front of you, still getting consistent damage. The Zarya looks like she might be targeting the Sojourn, but she can easily just swap off onto you and change her target. Reaper might be targeting Sojourn too, but you're right behind based on his angle. Symmetra is launching her turret still. Let me see what her cooldowns look like. Here you are. Okay, so she's about to get another turret and she's got 2 of the 3 down. I don't know where they are. But yeah, like I said, Reaper's got a sight on both of you, so if he doesn't pursue Sojourn, he's going to pursue you. Let's have a quick look at... Yeah, I figured she was looking at Sojourn. And she has both her bubbles. So she hasn't even begun her engagement. Again, Moira over here and she has both her abilities, so she can... Yeah, so resource management-wise, it's kind of done. The only one out of resources technically right now... Oh, there's her 2 turrets! Yeah, so the only one really out of resources is their... where is she? Symmetra. All of them have their resources and they're ready to take you out. You just went in there. And then you have you. No rewind. 2 blinks. Whoa. What is going on right now? Oh my god. Everybody saw that, right? Oh my god. So yeah, you're right now in a 1v5, roughly. The turrets are on the right-hand side, and that's exactly where you go. So the turrets are probably going to lock onto you in about like 2 seconds. But they didn't follow you, and now you have no blinks. You're recuperating on 1, and you go on to point to stick with your team, but you got eliminated by the Symmetra. So let's get on to her real quick. Oh, she eliminated you with the secondary fire, too. Yeah, right now they're pincering you, and they have their full resources to take this team fight. I don't even know what the resources were on the on your team as well. So let's get that real quick. And okay, so she just used her orb. He doesn't have Amp It Up anymore. He has all his abilities, which is good. And then your Sojourn didn't have her slide, so she got no mobility. She dropped down, and she's now at a disadvantageous position. I cannot speak. Right. So, again, the real thing that I would advise is to play, again, like a support where you're with your team, and then branch off when there's an opportunity and they're obviously distracted. But it just looks like the real big issue here is the resource management and positioning. So not really much more to offer, but yeah, it looks like the team fight was lost. They got the point again. So we're just gonna wait on some action. You're waiting on your team. That's good. Regroup, sticking with there. You did it again. Okay, good kill. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so you waited on your team. So, once again, we're hitting into the problem that I mentioned prior. You're frontlining. You're not supposed to frontline. Even, like, this was good that you went frontline and then immediately tried to go on the dive. You should have committed to that, because that's basically, if you go up here, even if Moira remained for 2 seconds and gave you pressure immediately, that's 1v1 versus 1v4, because you dropped down. Your tank took the dive, and it doesn't look like your team is going to be able to get there. Did Lucio have his speed boost? He's on healing right now. Okay, he went on to speed. Okay, so he's offering very good viewpoint. Your tank dove in. Is he alone right now? Yeah, he's basically alone. So Winston, here's the thing. Winston is a dive tank, yes, but he is still vulnerable to getting into a very disadvantageous position by diving in alone. Now, theoretically, you don't have to go by yourself as Tracer. You could dive targets alongside your tank, and now you have an actual dive tank, so you can converge on single targets. So the two things that I noticed for this team fight in particular, resource management, and then lack of target priority. So as a support, you have your target priority when it comes to heals. You have your target priority, I don't know who you play commonly when it comes to the support category. I could probably look at your playtime afterward and just get a quick overview of that, but essentially speaking, your target priority when it comes to a support hero is that you have to upkeep your team on most of the heroes, and then there's a couple of them that give advantageous utility while disabling the enemy team's utility. Cases like Ana and Zenyatta. So you need to play a little bit more like a support in positioning, where you examine what you're going into before you go into it. And it's kind of like how Soldier's voice line goes off when he kills Tracer. You need to think before you act, and that could not be any more true. You think so quickly, you make split-second decisions, but a split-second bad decision is always going to be worse than a well-thought-out, slowed-down, slow action. Because at least you're thinking about what you're doing and you can kind of make up and get a better idea. So again, your tank is now by himself over here. You're in the back line, which is right, and you're trying to take out, but their Symmetra's kind of divided up the battlefield. And the thing to duly note again, your tank's by himself, everybody's not together. There you are. So, frontlined, and then you re-engage the fight by jumping down. You should have taken the top angle. So you made, you wasted a blink into a wall. That's not the big deal right there. Yeah, you're divided between a few different targets. Now, granted, you get the kill. You get the Moira, which is good. You get the Moira, excellent. And then, so let's quickly pay attention to one thing real quick. From this point here, he's got full ammo. He's already reloaded when he did that before he jumped down. Everybody watch with me and see if you notice exactly what I'm pointing out. In reference to resource management, the entire bottom right-hand bar, right here, right now, what do you think it is that I'm going to be looking at with resources? And from there, we can kind of give it a pause. The big issue is the resource management of his primary fire. Let's just go back a little bit and quickly go over what I'm talking about. The wall goes up. You do not have a specific target in mind. So now you're just shooting the barrier. They're bobbing and weaving, which is what they're supposed to do. Moira makes it behind before you can get anything, but you managed to get the kill on her. But everybody else, you wasted all your primary fire. Now again, they're bobbing and weaving, so it's not anything you could truly help. But let's look right here. Oh, and you lost your ult! Oh! That can't be helped. That can't be helped. That was just bad luck in general. But, dang. So yeah, like, the positioning and the resource management are really the two biggest problems. There's not really much more to go on this team fight, so we don't need to... Yeah, they're about to take second point, so let's just skip forward. Ooh, it's this one. This one's kind of fun. I like this area a little bit. Map dynamic. It's kind of stupid from time to time, but... Okay, you're on point. And I only see... Is that Lucio down here? Yeah, that's Lucio. Where is the rest of your team? Oh, you're harboring ults. Oh, you're harboring about 4 different ults right now. Oof. Okay, so Zenyatta is still making his way. Oh no, this is the enemy team, excuse me. So your Moira's with you. Your Lucio's beneath you. Your Winston's still making his way to point. And Pharah's at spawn. And here you are on point. What are you contesting? Or what are you doing to capture point? My suggestion would be to be off point. You're not going to capture it either way. There's literally 0 reason for you to be there. And you are each going to be trading ults at a very, very, very quick rate when the next team fight happens. There is literally 0 reason for you to be on point right now. I would be with your team. Let's watch what happens. So just to kind of recap, where is Winston? Still making his way to point, but he's close, and Pharah's close behind, but not close enough behind. Is she? She's not utilizing her? No!
Surrender to my will.
That's gonna hurt. Yeah, so she's not even making an effort to get there as quick as possible. Even I understand that you need to utilize some of your resources to get around the map a little quicker as Pharah. It'll be worth it, and you could recharge some of your abilities if you use them wisely, so... So, let's watch this from third-person perspective for a second. So, you dive in. Oh, I meant to slow it down, not rewind.
Flashpoint unlocks in 10 seconds.
Cannot escape.
Okay. So, dive in. You're going for Moira. Moira is by herself currently. She's got nobody except maybe Zarya to bubble her, and Symmetra to kind of throw a turn and shoot with her beam. But she's more busy setting up her teleporter. So you get the shots in. You did a good job in dive targeting. The problem with this is that, based on prior report, we know that you're not going to be able to get that pick. You try again, her team's supporting her. You recall out, and now you're back here, and what is your resources look like? You have 2 blinks, no rewind. Now, the good news is, you kept on with the Moira, and then your enemy, or your teammate Moira, helped take them out. But now we have another problem. Your Lucio is now half health and is just supporting the Moira. Your tank is thankfully dealing with what seems to be an isolated Symmetra, which is good. And your Pharah is still trying to join the fight with her ult. So you're still currently down. You just made the team fight even until she gets in. Good kill. So the rewind, you got rid of the Moira. Excellent. I give kudos right there. Good job on that kill. And a great resource management with your primary fire. You weren't just fluctuating your aim. Good job. Second right thing you did in that team fight. So Winston takes care of Symmetra. You all come in together and you take out Zarya. And now all that's left is Zen. Woo! You actually took me by surprise on that one. Can I? Let me actually get a third-person perspective of that, because that was actually kind of cool. It seems so much cooler in first person. It's like, oh, he went down. He's aiming at you one direction. Oh, he went into the wall. But he was like literally looking at you, so... Word of caution. Yes, Tracer is a very huge thorn in the side of a Zenyatta, but Zenyatta still has the capability of 1 or 2 piecing, or even potentially 3 piecing you. Be careful with those team fights. Be careful when you take those dives. Zenyatta, oh my god, he was 1% away from getting Transcendence, so that could have been bad. Okay, so fast forward the team fight. You're all together on point. That's good. You're all together. I would be... Okay, so let's actually watch that real quick. So, you took care of Zenyatta together with your team. Okay. Okay. So, let's go back a second. This, good. So, what do you do between team fights? You prepare for the next team fight. You prepare for the next wave. It doesn't matter who you're playing, you need to prepare the best that you can. Don't waste your abilities, key abilities. Like if Winston was just using his jump for fun between team fights, he might get caught with his metaphorical pants down, and he might not have a dive. You shouldn't be wasting blinks between team fights. This was an advantageous position, because now you're going to do a pincer. You could have gone in this little doorway here, and heck, you could have been doing that little crouch trick that you see every Overwatch League pro do. Take this little corridor here, and immediately, yes, they have a means of getting to you, but they need to focus on getting to the point, and they would rather probably go down and around or head over here and get the more straight path. They're going to stick together, but you would be pincering them and dividing their attention. So I would have initially taken this area here and then waited. But at the same time, you also could have put pressure on them if you waited a little bit more, and instead of taking up here, wait for them to push forward, back out, and come behind them from this direction, and pincer them literally 180 degrees. So now they're forced to either take care of you or take care of your team. But instead, you kind of go back with your team and you bunker up with them, and you front line. Ah! How did she get you? Ah! She did it again! Oh! Ah, she has your number with that secondary fire. Oh my god! Okay. That's fine. I'm gonna just say that the positioning was the issue here because there's not really much. You didn't waste all your resources, which was good. But you shouldn't be, and again, remember, let's just quickly note something. Look at their team. They have 1, 2, 3, technically 4, and then maybe not even 4, but she's got good sustain damage. They got 4 different methods of bursting you down very quickly. Zarya has good burst potential with her alternate fire. The secondary fire we've already seen from Symmetra is definitely a good bane for your existence. Zenyatta's got his orbs and his Discord orb, remember that. And then you have Reaper, which is basically 2 shotguns to your face. Again, he can 1 or 2 piece you. And that's exactly what happened here. You're playing a frontline tracer. It can be doable in certain team compositions, but it's a very small amount of different situations where you could make that work. You would have to force it. I'm surprised. Wow, your team held the point. Good stuff. So you make it back.
Rocket barrage incoming.
Good. Good. Good stuff.
Incoming.
Good target prioritization. Honestly, Zarya should have turned around. I don't know what she's doing. Is she turned around? No, she's trying to assist her Reaper. She might recognize her win condition. Okay, got rid of the enemy Reaper. She's on point by herself. So credit where credit's due. Target prioritization. That was juicy. I actually loved that. So target prioritization, sticking with your team at the last portion there. I like how you pincered up. Might be a little overextending, but you won the team fight, so it's not that worrisome. And you still have your pulse bomb, so you didn't blow through an ultimate ability. That's good. Where are you headed now? Is this the one that I think it is? Yep, so they met up with you and are trying to distract you guys. That's not good.
Flashpoint unlocks in 10 seconds.
Ooh! Okay!
Pass.
I got nothing but praise for that. That was perfectly well timed. Oh, I think I know what Zen just did. So let's go back a second. So the only critique I'll have, and this is not criticism, this is a critique. So you did the right thing. You're trying to pincer them. You did exactly the right thing.
Unlocks in 10 seconds.
But when you saw nobody, you backtracked, and that could have led to something disastrous. You just need to be a little bit more cautious about that, and I bet you weighed your options, so I'm not gonna... Again, this isn't criticism. Good stick on the tank, and then even if she bubbles, someone's going to die. You forced out her bubble, but it was too late. You forced out Reaper's Wraith, so he has no escape mechanic. You eliminate the Zarya, ignoring everybody. You're ignoring the right people for the right circumstances and for the right reasons. Slow this down. So you got your thing. You eliminate the Symmetra. You force out key resources. Reaper's coming after you after blowing through his Wraith. You eliminate Zarya. Perfectly timed recall to get right behind him. He's forced to make a choice and teleport out. You unfortunately couldn't get that. And now you're left with Moira, who... Good back out. Good attempt at doing the flank.
Into the eye.
So now I'm curious about... Okay, he's keeping Reaper alive. Okay, okay, that's it. They're diving. Yeah, they're diving. Ah!
Oh, let's break it. Damn!
Oh, that hurt my soul. Oh, that hurt my soul. Ah, okay. Okay, I'm good. I think I'm good. Ah. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to still recoup from that. Oh my god, that legit hurts my soul. I cannot emphasize enough how bad of a beat that was. And that's not even your fault, I want to quickly note. I'm reviewing this for a friend, by the way, so that's when I refer to them as he. What's going on? Let me make sure I read that right and not get dyslexia. Dudampa or Dodampa? I'm going to call you Dodd. Let's just keep it simple. I'm going to get this wrong if I try too hard. I'm going to have more dyslexia on the way anyway. So what's going... Okay, yeah, so she went in for the dive. You're absolutely right. Why is she in the face? I've already been covering it that he's been doing a little bit of frontline fighting. He is a master support, but he's gold damage. So since I'm high plat, low diamond, I'm trying to offer him a little bit of help getting into the coaching realm. I'm new to coaching, so this is my way of trying to hopefully help someone and get some experience. So Zenyatta blows his Transcendence. They still have 4 ults to go through. So they're still stacked, waiting for an opportunity to use it. You now only have the 1 ult with a Coalescence on the way. So one of his issues now is that he's playing Tracer like a frontline fighter. He's playing Tracer like a Reaper. Reaper can technically flank, but in the right circumstances, he can be a really terrifying frontline presence. So,
oh, let's break it. Damn!
The reason this beat is bad, where's the pressure? In that hallway? Go back like a few seconds. Who needed beat? Who needed the beat? Moira's at full. Your Winston's at full. Lucio is at full. Your Pharah is at full. You back out because you're getting pressured in the hallway. Did he panicle? Bro! Ah! That actually hurts my soul. Yeah, that's not the Tracer's fault, but let's go back to Tracer. So, he first off does the battle, and now, like, everything that you did right up until that point, now it all turns wrong. Because you wasted your recall. It looks like you're getting... Okay, so they got 2 picks. That's about... Looks like it's swinging your way. Let's see what happens. He more than made up for it. he more than made up for that loss. Whatever your Pharah and Lucio did, he made up for it by taking your Lucio and Moira. He made up for it in one ult. And they still have 3 ults to do! They still have 3! And you ran out of your recall, and you're now out of blinks with only 1 to spare with 7 seconds left on your recall. Resource management didn't really go your way this time. How do I explain this the best? Because I'm kind of being a little wordy with this. You dove in, and you got good resource management out of it, or you got good resource. Oh my god, I'm having a stroke. You dove, you got value by lowering the enemy team, and you got their supports. But their Reaper was essentially holding on to his Wraith, so he managed to survive, and then he basically takes your supports. And if your Lucio did not blow his beat, he could have salvaged the fight before it swung. In fact, actually, when does he use it? He might have not gotten it off. But he also might have. He might have. Don't bother jumping around. He could have saved your entire... And then you lose your tank. Yep, so just as I figured. Your Lucio, if he did not panic ult, could have swung that team fight and kept you alive, making Reaper waste his ult. Now, you have 1 blink heading on 2, 5 seconds left on your recall, you are literally 16 HP, and your Pharah is now holding the choke at full HP, but no sustain and no abilities to help her get out of dodge. I didn't even realize where she was. Oh my god, she's in the... She didn't stand a chance.
Oh, we're outnumbered.
Yeah, you're mission scrubbed. Get out of dodge. Get out of there. Don't even stay on point. No, don't stay on point. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. What are you doing? Staring at them was doing nothing. I would have just gone back to your team. You probably could have let your support get that for you and give him a little more... Oh no, she has her ult, then Lucio wouldn't have benefited from it. Okay.
Much better.
When... Good kill.
Look at me.
That's what you're worried about. We're gonna watch this from third person for a second. Number 1 problem, and this wasn't you. Your Winston dives in alone. She's still heading back, but she's got view of the point. She could probably be launching a few rockets. You're by yourself, Winston. You're by yourself, Winton. Winton? You're by yourself. Where's your sustain? Oh, the Moira, who can only throw the healing orb? The Lucio, who you need to be in range of? Who is currently not in range? Like, his healing ring might actually be stopping, like, right here. And your Tracer, who I'm currently advising is going for a flank, which isn't necessarily the worst thing, but you dove in alone, and he could really use the support, and you're not there to help your Winton. So he gets bursted down, 2 ults already wasted. Their Moira, they kind of blew all their ults though, so that's kind of leaning against their favor, but now they have nothing if another team fight comes through. You have your ult about on the way, and I saw that you obviously got the kill, so good job. And your Moira can technically use her ult in 2 seconds. I don't know if she does. She's not using it. And that makes sense. The tank is already dead, so it's kind of good she's not blowing it. You got the Zenyatta. I can't think of his name.
Look at me.
And then you frontlined again.
Technical malfunction. Look at me.
Ah, he two-pieced you. Ow. Ow. That hurts. So, yeah, this was a scrubbed team fight. Not totally your fault and not much you could have done. The flanking wasn't bad. The flanking was just badly timed. And your tank basically dove in on a lost 1v5. And they kind of did blow all their ults, so really there was no sustain should the next team fight come in. But it doesn't even look like there was going to be another team fight for another few seconds. Alright, you're making it in. Where is everybody? So, Winston's on top of you. Lucio and Moira are gone, and where's Ash? Oh, behind you still. Okay. So yeah, you're all coming out of spawn at this moment. Okay. Get that over here. Yeah, the enemy team is all gathered up. They just got your supports. Your supports are now here. Yeah, you only have one more team fight at best. You're probably going to lose this one unless you surprise me. So, the one good thing that your teammate did, going from well, technically even at Pharah that would have been pretty good. The problem is that Zarya is on point, and her bubbles kind of make it hard to do anything. There was nobody to challenge the Pharah on your team, but there was no one on your team to sustain her either other than your Zenyatta when he was a Zenyatta, but then it looks like you got a Moira Lucio. Your Pharah had no sustain, so going Ashe is going to make it a whole lot easier for sustain. You have your ultimate, but she probably could have traded off. I don't know who would have been better here, to say the least. I hate to say that maybe Junkrat would have been a good choice to kind of get rid of the enemy team. It would have nullified a good portion of the self-heal that Reaper has. It would have most certainly taken out Zenyatta and Moira with his two-piece combos. It definitely would have taken care of Symmetra and her turrets. And Zarya's bubbles would have gone down very quick. You would have had to make her blow through her resources. So a Pharah for a Junkrat would have been better. Ashe is not a terrible pick, but at this point, Ashe is not going to have much use. So let's get back onto you. Let's finish watching.
Surrender to my will. In tip-top shape.
Whoa! Talk about taking me by surprise. We'll watch that from third-person perspective in like 2 seconds. Their Moira got away. They got your Moira.
No problem.
I'm feeling angry.
Loud and clear.
Good pick.
I am. Thank you.
Good stuff. Going to your teammate for healing. Good on your Winston for ulting and disrupting. Good. No criticisms. This worked out beautifully. Let's go back for a second. So,
No problem.
let's start from the engage. Okay, so good distraction, and you did the right thing for once. What's going on, Christopher? Glad to have you on stream. So let's just cover something. I'm doing a VOD review for a friend, so he could look back at this. I'm also recording it too. This is going to be a long... Oh, we're already hitting an hour. Heck yeah, I'm going to be sending him this. So, you did the right thing. Your Winston might have done the frontline dive, but you came in pincered. So now you're going to be giving the enemy team a choice. you helped out his dive more immensely here than you did at any other point. But he still pays the price. I think, was Zenyatta focusing on you? Yes, he's focusing you. Okay. I just needed to make sure. So, you did the right thing, you pincered. You didn't get much value there, but you did take out a turret. Your Moira finally uses it and gets rid of the Symmetra. That's good. The Reaper's going into bubble. Good target prioritization there. The only thing I would have said is that when you did this dive, I would have actually gone for the Zenyatta because he's by himself. Again, you're trying to force their hand into making bad decisions. So what are they going to do? Focus your team here and not get 1 or 2 pieced by the Ashe in the back line? Or are they going to focus on you and defend their healer? So your target prioritization should have been, instead of going for Reaper, to go for the Zen. On top of that, who has the Discord orb at the minute? Is there Zenyatta even Discord orbing anybody? No! What? Discord orb! Discord orb, bro! Discord orb! Don't matter, we want them to lose anyway, but I don't think that happens. So yeah, I would have changed the target prioritization to Zenyatta. He's open. He's literally free value where he is. Extremely free value right there, but now he turns his focus to you, and you trade a damage for a tank. But you guys flipped the team fight, so I'm surprised. So now you go over here, you get a 2-piece with your pulse bomb. Good stuff. Let's just go back a second. It couldn't be helped in that instance, so I don't blame them for that. But yeah, good on you for that. And then the Moira, going for Moira, she's the only viable target. Zenyatta's already getting his crap pushed in. Yeah, he was always going to die, but Moira makes an escape.
Thanks.
Did they try and
No problem.
contest for a second? Or is that just an error in the audio?
I'm feeling angry.
Okay. And then we head on into what I just mentioned. So, beautiful, beautiful flanking that you're doing right now. You blinked. Kind of couldn't be helped, but you still have 2 blinks, so you didn't overuse your resources this time. Beautiful kill. I would have... I can't really advise it because it worked. If it's dumb but it works, it's not dumb. But now you don't have a recall. And look at who you're up against. You're now half health against a full health Zarya and Symmetra. And even if he is weak and you can kind of take him out, Reaper still poses a threat. But he's in Wraith form. I don't know if he'll exit it. Now, ult economy, let's be 100% honest, they are now down a healer, and they're roughly 50% between Symmetra and Zarya, 60% with Zenyatta, and 72% with Reaper. You have the ult advantage for the moment because you're going to build your ult quicker than any of them. So, Ashe is going to steadily build, and the only real disadvantage is that your Moira and your Lucio don't have their ults. But by the time they get theirs, he can have his beat for the next team fight. So again, this is kind of like a lost cause. Like, once you got the Moira, back out. You're weak. You're extremely weak, and you should go to your teammate, which you did. Good job. I wouldn't have gone through and taken that risk, but that was a good job on you. Your monkey decides to use... No, of course, you guys have a good one. Is there anybody left? Oh, whatever. Well, this is a stream, it saves for later anyway. So, to make a very long story short, your monkey did a good job in getting rid of the Reaper, and now he's doing a good job of being disruptive and keeping enemy team from going, and you get the Symmetra and the her weakest. And now you get rid of their Zarya. Good job. Kudos. So this is where your teammate probably could have benefited the most from having been Junkrat, because Ashe can take the high ground, but there's too much cover for her to get as much value as a Junkrat would get. Unless she's really good at Ashe. We don't know.
Flashpoint unlocks in 10 seconds.
Here it comes.
Oh, that was gonna hurt.
Flashpoint unlocks.
Okay, so team fight hasn't started. They traded off their DPS from Reaper to McCree. They changed their Symmetra to Mei, and they traded their Zarya for Ramatra, and they traded their Moira for Kiriko. Oh boy. Right, okay, so if you didn't have issues before, you have issues now. Their team is heavily focused on countering 3 out of the 4 of you? 3 out of the 5 of you? I'm just trying to figure out how to word this properly so we don't think I'm an idiot. So they're Kiriko, McCree, Mei, Zen. Let's eliminate Ramatra from the equation for 2 seconds. Those 4 heroes by themselves are capable of bursting you very quickly. And that's probably why they did this, because they're presenting that you're kind of succeeding in some of your stuff and trying to get rid of you as a nuisance. Your Ashe is going to have trouble because if McCree and Mei, in fact, Mei doesn't even need to get close, but if McCree gets close, she's done. She's immediately done. Your Monkey is going to get hard countered by Ramatra. Ramatra is just able to take fights better than Monkey and can dish out more damage. And just even the Mei and the McCree by themselves are going to counter your Monkey heavily. And heck, if Zen uses his Discord orbs, it looks like he hasn't been for the longest while, so best case, if he doesn't, you might have it. But now your Moira and Lucio are definitely going to get bursted down a lot quicker because of their burst potential. So let's see what happens. Yep, see, right? You had full health. You had full health. One dink, and you're literally... I don't know the word for it. You're about to die. I wouldn't have used the recall. Even for positioning's sake, I wouldn't have used it. Did you? How did the blinking... Yeah, you had 2 blinks. I would have used the blinks to get out of dodge. And heck, I wouldn't have even gone toward the enemy area. I would have gone this direction because there's a health... This is also why you should know where the health packs are. There's a health pack right here. If you didn't go that direction, you could have gone this direction. I keep forgetting I don't have it to go lower. You could have gone this direction, been undercover, and gotten the health pack. But you now... You went in, got dinked, and then you used your recall, a critical resource for life-saving, into the line of fire from a McCree. Yep, just as I figured. I figured that was going to happen. And it looks like they succeeded. So the McCree... Okay, yeah, just as I figured. So McCree just took out 2 out of the 3 characters that you just lost. I kind of knew that was going to happen. And then he just takes out your Moira, just as again as I anticipated. I don't know if they're out of position or whatnot, but if any of your teammates are left there, they should probably get out.
Anna online.
Ooh! Making some swaps on the support lineup. So instead of Moira, it's now Anna, and your tank went from Winston to Orisa. Orisa is definitely better than Winston. That's for certain. Waiting for your team? Not the best, but I get it. I do. But now here's a problem. Your Zenyatta, your Moira, excuse me, was offering a little bit better healing output for you and your flexibility. Anna now needs to use her grenade wisely to use it as a resource, and she's going to have to shoot you. So she's losing potential and healing. Okay. Good stuff. Ah! Whiff and a miss. So I understand why you did it. I do. But let's remember something again. Who's on the enemy team right now? 4 out of the 5 of them can one-piece you. In fact, they could actually two-piece you. They could burst you down and literally done. 4 of them can do that. You dove in, you use that, he uses his tank form, he uses his heavy punch form, so he's going to survive the pulse bomb, and you barely get any damage in on any of them. And they still have their Kiriko in the back dealing damage and can still heal off their Zenyatta. Their Mei walls off an entire viewpoint for Lucio. And where's Orisa at this point? Right behind you? Yeah. Ooh, quite the way of keeping the team fight alive, but remember... Oh, that's not good at all. Oh, she's doing good. Okay. So it's a 4v5. It can still technically be swung, and it looks like the only 2 people that really matter in this team fight are buffed up, and it looks like Anna's got a pretty good view of horse, so... Oh... Team fight lost. Let's quickly review why it was lost. Because Lucio saves horse, their ult economy. I even wasn't paying attention to that, by the way, so I'll gladly admit I screwed up just now. I didn't even pay attention to the fact that McCree, perfectly placed in the back line, by the way, has free range of the Ashe up top. And then Zenyatta comes in with his ult to make sure that he can't die. And that they can swing the team fight. Anna's badly positioned. She shouldn't be here. She should be further back where, kind of similar, like, she doesn't need to be on top of people to heal them. She could be a little further back. So Ashe is now gone. Your Lucio's just bouncing back and forth. He's kind of like Redditing right now, is what I would say. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's a bad sign. And then you're still back at spawn. Not a very good look. Ooh, going Sombra. I'm going to be 100% honest. Sombra wouldn't be the pick. Even if she's a 200 HP hero, her capability of getting much done, she doesn't have much survivability in her utility to make use of everything. Even for contesting's sake. Yeah, there's the match. I figured. So all in all, there were times you surprised me. There were times that you disappointed me. I'm joking. I will say, you definitely are not doing terrible from time to time, but your overall gameplay, I give it a B-. If I had to give it numbers, I would give it like a solid 5, maybe 4 out of 10. Because there were times you got the good openings. But a majority of the time you were frontlining, heavily out of position. Your timing for flanking, although not terrible, wasn't as good as it could have been. Target prioritization wasn't necessarily the worst, but it could have been a little bit better. And that's really the only critiques. The biggest takeaway is play more like a support in your overall viewpoint by examining the field and where you're going to go. Stick behind your tank. You cannot, although it can happen from time to time, you can frontline with Tracer. You shouldn't. because 9, and I'm gonna give rough, like, off the top of my head figures and just spitball a number. 9 out of 10 times, frontlining with Tracer is not going to be a good idea from gold up. The awareness is a lot better and it's a lot harder to get value. You need to be pincering, flanking, going for advantageous. You cannot take fair team fights. You have to go for key targets. The times that you went for the Reaper when you probably should have gone for the Zenyatta happened a few times. But overall, this was obviously a very close match. And I'll give it to you again. This is a 4 out of 10, my rating. I will say that you didn't do as terrible as some other Tracers, but you need to play more advantageous behind your tanks and view the playing field and choose your engagements more carefully. And that's pretty much my only review right there. All in all, 4 out of 10, that's not bad. Again, for being a master support, but a gold damage, I'm, again, high plat, low diamond in damage, but I'm also silver in support because I haven't played it in a long time, and I'm very terrible with my support play, so yeah. That's pretty good. I'm just pretty good. So thank you everybody for watching. I'll see you next time. Okay, I'm not leaving stream. Nobody leave. I hope I caught you all in time. That was just because I'm recording a video and I'm going to upload it later as a separate thing. I'm still going to be on Overwatch. In fact, I did something for Ranked. Did it refresh yet? If it didn't, I'm going to try and do it on... Did I already do this one? I think I did. Yes, I did this. Okay, so it didn't refresh yet. When does it refresh? View results, I don't care. When's 3 hours? Yeah, crap. Let's see if I can get Ranked set up here real quick. If I can do that. Rank. Oh, here we go. Overwatch 2, guess the rank? Yeah, I have 2 different No, it's the same clips. Wah, wah. Sag. It'd be cheating for me, and I don't have enough viewers to have votes go on, but that would have been fun. Can I actually get unlimited tries? Join us on Discord, subscribe to the YouTube channel, business inquiries, Ranked, news and updates. Is there a way? Is there a way to get unlimited guesses? I would love to, in fact, you know what? I have a better idea. Where's, there it is. I'm gonna get a new tab here. YouTube. Guess the Smurf. How about guess my rank, huh? I don't want to have to steal from other content creators just to get some clips. Do people just submit? Is that what's going on? Dang. I'm trying to find something that doesn't have like ML7 or Emong or J3 or Flats reviewing everybody. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to find anything like that though. It's such a shame too. Dang, that was so sad. For a 1 hour stream, though, that's actually pretty good. Also, it's hitting about the time I need to go get my wife from work. I'm actually surprised. Whoa! Very surprised at that. What your rank says about you, Platinum Edition. Yeah, I'm good. Dang. I kind of wish that they made it easier. So sad. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to legit find some clips that we could use, but doesn't look like I'm going to find it. Oh, well. Current bit rate. Why is it 0? What do you mean, bro? Right, so I'll be definitely utilizing this on my channel. Alright, I'm going to call it because there's not really much more for me to do. I really wanted to try and do more, but... Unless, not really. Yeah. I'll do something a little later on. But this was an awesome stream. 5 viewer cap, I think it was. 12 views, but what was the concurrent viewer cap? I think it was 5, right? Views, 12. Yeah, I got that. Chat rate, don't really care. I just want to know how many people came in total. Like, what was the peak there? I think my highest was 5. 5 viewers. Welcome, viewer. Speaking of, I actually just finished doing a VOD review. I don't have any other material unless someone sends me something, but even then I didn't have time. So it kind of works itself out that I can end the stream for right now. I'll be back on later tonight. I'll see if I can get something else. But now I need to see if I can get this clip over to the guy who sent it to me. So, yeah. So sad. I wish I did have a little bit more time to do this, but I'm on later tonight, so I'll be streaming on YouTube again. And I'll see if I can continue doing some VOD reviews or just do some gameplay or something and make it an educational stream. But I had fun. Had a lot of fun. So I'll see you a little bit later, viewer. I hope you're doing well, and I hope to see you later this evening. But yeah. For anybody viewing this stream after I finish, submit your VODs down in the comment section below, or send it to me via Discord or Twitter. Everybody calls it X. How else did I put it on my previous videos? I'll have to take a look. I know that I mentioned like a couple of methods of giving me VODs, different codes. Give me match codes. Give me some basic details. I want to start reviewing. I want to start coaching people, and I would very much like to get into that. Gives me a sense of purpose for the game. So, another viewer. I feel so bad. Welcome, viewer. I was just about to get off. I'm so sorry. I literally have nothing else I can do. I have to go pick up my wife from work, and I need to get my daughter up to go pick her up. But I just did an hour and a half, I roughly think, or an hour and 15 minutes of a VOD review. You could actually go back on that and watch the whole thing if you want, but it's about a master support playing a gold damage match. He didn't do terrible. I gave him a 4 out of 10, respectfully speaking, because he could have done better in a lot of instances, and I do explain throughout the thing he's frontlining as Tracer. But all in all, 4 out of 10 because he's not the worst. He's still above the typical average Tracer player from time to time, but yeah. You could watch this back if you want. Anyway, I'm going to get going. So I appreciate the viewership. Once again, submit VODs down below. Give me these match codes. Give me some basic descriptions of what I'm looking for and who you are, so that I can help you identify everything in the match properly. And I will see you guys later tonight. I'll see you later, everyone. God, I can't talk.